Hey guys, it's Spider Pig. So today I want to talk about some stuff I've been reviewing and just basically testing out in my FPV lifestyle here. So I've been mostly flying racing with this one with Crash Override, which has the 4-inch blades on it, and I wanted to kind of try something new. I wanted to go for bigger blades. I want to try 5-inch blades, and originally I was thinking about using Acid Burn here for 5-inch blade. She flies great, and but I was looking at different styles of airframes because I wanted something that's a little more crash resistant than normal, because you do tend to crash quite a bit in racing. So I found two things. I found this. I believe this is Indestructible. This is from Quad Questions. It's a frame here that's designed for racing, and I'll see if I can find a link and put it below. And it kind of stacks everything more vertically, as you can see. It is a very tight fit for everything, but it does keep everything nicely stacked. I did put a generic Crazy Pony camera in there for now, just to test it out to see how it works, because normally I prefer the Runcam Swift 2, but they're $40 and they're a little more expensive. The other thing I saw, which was really kind of cool, was these Lumenier race pods, as you can see right here. Now the Lumenier race pods, they're designed to go over the Lumenier frame, a specific Lumenier frame, but they have clones that you can get. I believe it's a Real ACC 215. I'll have to look. I'll put the link in the description as well. Amazon actually sells, there's a combination of the pod and the frame together, so if you want to get that, that's, I think it was only $36 for the combination. The pod itself is like anywhere from $15 to $20. They also make it in white as well. The nice thing about the pod is it does kind of protect everything on the inside, which is really what I'm looking for. And that way, like, I won't damage my VTX or things like that, and it'll be less things to replace. The frame I had is basically a clone frame, so I did have to modify up here. I kind of had to drill the holes, make them a little bigger. I only was able to get one screw in, but I have both screws in at the bottom here, so I'm kind of okay with that. I have no problem with that. Now, this frame, the nice thing is about it is you can get this little GoPro mount for it, which screws into where the antennas go in over here. It has two screws that go in. I also used zip ties to kind of hold it down. The reason that is because the first big crash I had with this, there was just kind of a zip tie on the screws. The screws just came right out. I think I was using screws that were too small, so I wanted to kind of use bigger screws for this time and zip tie it a little more. It seems to be holding up fine in crashes. I crashed quite a bit with this today, trying to fly through gates, and it held up pretty well. So I'm pretty happy. Overall, I would recommend the Lumenier Race Pod for flying, because it does protect quite a bit of things. The modification I had to make was I made a hole up here for the antenna, because the hole they have over here was just too big for me, and I couldn't get it as well as I want to. I think most of them, they have the antenna going this way. I just need a little more vertical, which is fine. The other thing that's a little problematic with this is they have a hole here on the right side for the USB, but I usually keep the USB on the left side. Even so, on one of my quads, actually flipped over with the Omnibus F3. It still won't line up with the USB, so I will probably have to make a special hole just for the USB. I'm okay with that, you know. I don't really need to right now because the quad's pretty set as it is, and I can do anything in the OSD with the Tyrannus as well, so I'm not really looking to change anything. But overall, I definitely would recommend the pod, especially since it's only $15, and you could probably fit it to any kind of frame if you just want to drill some holes. Now, the other thing I've been testing out is these Indestructible quads, Black Label batteries. They were $20, and I think, you know, you can't beat that for a price. They are 80C, and they're 1300 milliamps. They are great batteries. I have to say, I've been flying with them. They're not as small as my my tattoo ones, but it is, you know, pretty nice. You can see here. It is pretty nice as far as the size goes. It's not that bad at all, and I've also been testing out this cable right here for my Fatshark goggles. This is made by, let's see, Pitch Royale, and what this basically does is it allows you to plug in a 3-cell battery, which I have over here, into this. And they do sell different options. I have the voltmeter in mine, and then you plug this into the Fatsharks, and you can also, I got the extra plug for the fan as well, and that way I don't have to wear the battery pack on the side of my head, which I kind of like a lot better. The nice thing, the only bad thing I would say about this is this cable here for the fan was a little too flimsy for me, so I kind of just taped it up with electric tape. So and that's pretty much what I've been testing. So let's go to the field and let's take a look at how these flew, so you can get a better feel for it, and we'll take it from there. So overall, I would say I have to do a lot of work with Serial Killer here. When she flew, she was a little wobbly, especially on the turns, almost like a pendulum effect. I think it's the PIDs. I definitely have to work with the PIDs on this one. I was able to get through all the gates with her without any problems. Well, there's only one gate. I was able to get through the gates with her without any problems, so I would consider her a contender for the racing at this point. With the Lumenier Race Pro pod, with the GoPro, I think the weight was a little too much for it, and I had a little hard time at lower levels with her. But overall, she did fly pretty great, and you know, the footage would show that. I mean, overall, I use this one mostly for freestyle, and she's a lot of fun to fly in freestyle. And I've taken her to the park recently. You just fly her up in the air. She's great. She can handle pretty much any maneuver I put her through, which is great. And I'm still new at maneuvers here. But overall, for racing, I think I'm going to stick with this one. This is Zero Cool here. She's got the Emax RS 2306 motors. She does have 30 amp ESCs on her. She has the TBS Unify on her, so I could change the frequency without a problem. And overall, the only thing I would probably change is the camera on here. But other than that, she's a great quad, and I'm looking forward to flying her in my next race. So I hope you enjoyed my little reviews, and I'll catch you next time.